Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Elvia and this is my first official vlog, which I'm pretty excited about. I've done some vlogs in the past with my cameraman Ben before, but yesterday I bought my own camera to be a bit more face-to-face with you guys, and I'm really looking forward to this. But first, let's make some tea, will we? This one, and today this one. What do you got? Yeah, no. Yeah, like that. Good night, Neo. Hello, Luna. Welcome. I had some guests. Hello, Neo. So, let's make some new water. I'll clean this later. Now we wait for the sweet sound. Oh, yes. For my guests, this is where the magic happens. Here you can choose all the tea and the coffee and whatever you want. We don't regularly drink coffee, but this seems good. Oh no, it's empty! Back to the closet. Everyone drank my favorite. La, 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 la. Sure, whatever. Luna! Luna! It's wrapped in plastic. What? My gosh, that smells amazing. The steamy goodness is finished. Let's go, 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 let's go. Yes. So that's tea time right here. We're ready to go. And I think it's best to show you what's going on behind the scenes here. We have Neo and Luna fighting. If I open a window, all hell breaks loose. What? Is this on tape? For people who know my cats, they don't usually act like this. They hate each other. Gosh, there we go. Do not hate. Go away. Go away. That was the quickest in and out ever. Bye, Neo. Well then, let's continue. Okay, we're back. Welcome to the ADD life. I want to make videos for me 2 years ago. Because I feel that I have some information now that the me from 2 years ago would love to hear about. And I think a lot of you guys will also be in that position right now. So that's why I want to share what I've experienced, what I've gone through personally, to hopefully impact you in some positive way. The main thing I want to talk to you about is the most important thing, I think, to start with for everyone. And that is to get your house in order. Literally, spiritually, like financially, everything. But for me, it was quite literal. I shall start by telling you a story. About 3-4 years ago, I was mentally in a very bad place, and that was because I was moving away from my parents for the first time in my life, which is already quite a big chore to do. But my partner and I, we ended up in a pretty bad dark space. We ended up in a 1-bedroom studio. It was an actual 1-room studio with neighbors who literally hated us. We've done nothing to them, but they were junkies, and when they were high, they really they insulted us, they threatened us. Really, it was not a good place. We didn't really have Wi-Fi. I remember one day someone came to visit, and she asked me, Lisbeth, you aren't really creative these days. What's happened? I know you as this wildly creative person, and I don't see anything happening in your life right now. And that initially hurt me, but also it made me think, why am I not the best person I can be at this moment? And it was pretty clear to me what happened. I was just not in the right space. This house was modern, and as you might know, I'm a nature kind of girl. It was modern. We lived in a building with a lot of other people. There was no privacy whatsoever. There was no, there were no places that I could go to that I liked in nature, for example. There was no equipment for me to do my creative work. So there was no Wi-Fi, there was no computer, there was not even my dulcimer was there. To give you a perspective, the place we lived in was so small. If I have some pictures, I can post them here. But the place was so small that we didn't even have a dining table. We had to eat on the bed because there was no place for a table. It was just a 2-person bed, a very tiny kitchen, and a bathroom, a very tiny bathroom, but it was all in the same space. So it was soul destroying for someone who really needs space, who needs nature. And then we ended up being able to move from there. But the place where we ended up wasn't really better. It was actually worse. It was a house that was not in order at all. It was also in a city I didn't know, far away from the place that I grew up in, and it was locked down. So it was hell. It was absolute living hell. So that's when I called my mom. I said, Mom, I feel so bad. Like, I don't want to do anything to myself, but I don't feel what I should do in this moment. And she said, what can I do for you? Can I come over? So she came over and we went for a walk in a neighboring forest. And then we looked for a house together. And a few months later, they found the perfect house. It was the house that I wanted to live in as a child. And that was amazing. I'm not going into details there because it's a very, very, very long story, but just know that from the moment that I could live here, you see, it is nature, like inside and out. We don't have any neighbors here. I live in the forest, in the house that I wanted to live in as a child. We always passed by here and I saw that house and I thought that must be amazing to be able to live there. And now, haha, I live here. But the main point I want to make is what happened after I moved in here. We fixed the Wi-Fi. We got our stuff back, like my dulcimer, my computer, my keyboard, the piano, the recording microphone. Basically all the gear I needed personally to be creative. And that changed everything for me. But there was one thing that I felt out of place in. So, as you know, hopefully, my main profession is being a musician. Mainly, I sing and I play hammer dulcimer. And I could sing, I had the equipment. However, I did not really know how to record vocals properly, edit them properly, and send them properly. So, what I did, instead of teaching myself how to use the whole program of Logic Pro, because that would be a ridiculous task. I don't see myself as a sound engineer, even though I studied it. So what I did was telling to myself, mind you, after almost 2 years of putting it off, because I knew deep down this is what I had to do. But after 2 full years of putting it off, I told myself, you're going to watch some tutorials here about Logic Pro, about pitch correct, about vocal editing, about EQ, just the basics, reverb. So I spent, I think, about a week or so just learning that very niche expertise that I would need. If I acquired this skill, then I could just give it to the producers, and I wanted to make their lives basically much easier. That's what it comes down to. I thought from the perspective of the people that I work with, mainly the producers. What do they need? What can I provide? What would other singers give, and what can I do better than other singers to deliver? So when I sang in a track and say it was like 98% perfect, I learned to pitch correct to make it 100% perfect. That's one thing I learned from my first producer, Fieke. I used to just send everything to everyone. Like if I did 30 takes, I would send them 30 takes, even if they weren't the best. But now what I do is I sing in. Okay, that was the cat. Now what I do is I sing in, I check for myself, is it good enough? If it's the take that I wanted, I pitch correct it till it's perfect. I develop my own way of pitch correcting so that it is really, really clear that it's Elvia. And that's what I suggest you to do as well. If you learn a skill, just do it so much that you acquire your own taste and style, and others will recognize you. So I wanted to make the life of the producers I work with the easiest. And from the moment I did that, people flocked to me. And I mean, I had so many projects going on. It was insane. Almost everyone who I contacted replied that they wanted to work with me. Then I sent my stamps and they were literally blown away. And that kickstarted my career. The numbers in Spotify skyrocketed and stuff. And I really want to tell you as well how I did that. So how I started was I had already recorded 2 albums and a few singles with people. But when I listened to Spotify or YouTube or anything music related for that matter, instead of just favoriting the song, adding it to my playlist, I looked up the artist and I saw if they had any social media. And if they had social media, I would write everyone a message, a custom message, just to tell them how their music made me feel. And that if they were interested in working with me, that I am open to do that, and just to basically show people that I exist in a non-intrusive way. I think that's very important. But just if you reach out to people, just tell them how their art made you feel, and you will already stand out from the crowd, because a lot of people are just, and I can speak out of experience here, a lot of people will just be like, hey, I'm this person, and check out my work here and work with me. And it comes across as a bit iffy sometimes. So I did that, and I worked with some really, really big names, and you'll see them appear, or you might have seen them appear. So that's what I did, day in, day out. Maybe sometimes I sent 20 to 50 mails on a single evening, depending on the music I listened, if it was good or I had to skip a lot. But yeah, that's how I usually do collabs these days. And the nice side effect about that is that if your numbers rise and go up and you start getting in the algorithm of Spotify a bit, more artists will contact you as well, because I made clear in my bio that I'm open for collaborations, that people can contact me if they like what I do. And I must say, at this moment, I still sing in 2 to 6 songs a day, each day, every day. Maybe like once or twice I skip a day of singing, but it rarely happens. Even if I want to, it's just stronger than myself. So that's what I wanted to talk about to you today. I really hope you enjoyed it. And I just realized I forgot to drink and enjoy my tea a bit. I really hope that I helped some of you out there. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!